What are the most reliable new vehicles with the longest lasting engines and transmissions? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Help Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. When it comes to a car, by far the most expensive parts to replace are the engine, followed by the transmission. And considering that you can spend up to and even beyond $10,000 to replace them, you're going to want to pick one that's reliable. So if you want the longest lasting vehicle without any major repair headaches, I'm going to share which vehicles you can buy brand new in 2025 that are going to have the longest lasting engine and transmission combos. And I'm going to break this down into two lists. The first list is going to be the best of the best, the longest lasting engine and transmission combinations that you can buy. And the second list is going to be honorable mentions, which, although not quite as good as the first list, are still very reliable, solid drivetrain options that you can consider. But first, let's get started with that first list, the best of the best. Starting off strong with the very first one, which is Honda's J35 V6 engine and 10-speed automatic transmission. Honda has been producing a variant of their 3.5-liter V6 engine for over 2 decades. And it is a very well-proven engine that's known to last over 200,000 miles or 300,000 kilometers with just basic maintenance. It's a naturally aspirated engine, so no turbochargers, and comes in both dual overhead cam and single overhead cam variants. The 10-speed automatic transmission is also a Honda design transmission that has proven to be quite robust and trouble-free. Now, is this drivetrain perfect? Absolutely not. It does have some fuel-saving tech, including direct injection, engine start-stop, and cylinder deactivation, which can sometimes be problematic. It is also a timing belt engine, which means that you will have to perform a timing belt replacement every 100,000 miles. None of those concerns, however, should be deal breakers because as a whole, this is still a very reliable drivetrain. You can find it in the Honda Pilot, Passport, and Acura MDX. The next drivetrain that we have on the list comes from Toyota, which is their 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with a CVT. Toyota's 2-liter dynamic force engine is a naturally aspirated engine that uses both direct and port fuel injection, which helps prevent carbon issues. It's an incredibly reliable engine known for its trouble-free performance and longevity. Its weakest link is the CVT, but not by much. Toyota has figured out how to make a reliable CVT using a launch gear, which Toyota calls direct shift. When properly maintained, this transmission should match the longevity of the engine, which can easily last over 200,000 miles or 300,000 kilometers. You can find this drivetrain in the Toyota Corolla sedan, hatchback, and the Corolla Cross. The next drivetrain that we have is a tie between two very similar options, which are Mazda's 2-liter and 2.5-liter SkyActiv G 4-cylinder engines with the 6-speed transmission. Mazda has been producing these drivetrains for well over a decade now, and both have proven to be incredibly reliable with very few concerns. These engines are direct injection, and some variants do have engine start-stop and cylinder deactivation, but none of these are deal breakers for these engines. The transmissions are equally reliable. Most models come with a 6-speed conventional automatic transmission, but you can get a 6-speed manual on the Mazda 3 and MX-5. These drivetrains are used across the Mazda lineup, so if you want a simple, no-nonsense drivetrain setup that will last for ages, Mazda has you covered. And next up, we have our first hybrid drivetrain of the list, which is Honda's 2-motor hybrid system. Found on a number of models including the CR-V, the Accord, and the Civic, Honda's hybrid system consists of a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that comes connected to 2 electric motors. Although Honda labels it as having an eCVT, technically there is no transmission. The engine or drive motor power the wheels, but Honda has programmed the system to mimic the feeling of changing gears when you accelerate hard. It is a phenomenal drivetrain that performs well, is incredibly efficient, and has proven to be very reliable. The engine does have direct injection, but again, it's not really a concern. With no transmission, no starter, no alternator, and no belts, this drivetrain is far less complicated than you might think. Honda is now on the third generation of this hybrid system, after over a decade of proven reliability, and it is an excellent option to go for. If for whatever reason, however, you prefer to have a conventional drivetrain setup, then you cannot go wrong with the next one on the list, which is Lexus and Toyota's Dynamic Force 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine with the 8-speed automatic transmission. Found on the outgoing Toyota RAV4 and Lexus ES sedan, this is a phenomenal drivetrain option with near unbeatable reliability. The four-cylinder engine is naturally aspirated, has both port and direct injection to prevent carbon issues, and no cylinder deactivation nonsense to be concerned with. The transmission is a conventional 8-speed automatic, which is equally reliable. This setup can run for over 250,000 miles or 400,000 kilometers with ease. So if you are the type who likes things the old school way, this one is for you. Unless you prefer to have a couple more cylinders, in which case the best drivetrain option to go for are Lexus and Toyota's 3.5-liter V6 engine with either the 6-speed or 8-speed automatic transmission. The 2GR FKS is a naturally aspirated V6 found on the outgoing Lexus ES sedan and IS sedan. It is the definition of reliability. No complicated tech to go wrong, just a simple, large displacement naturally aspirated engine with port and direct injection. No engine start-stop, and no cylinder deactivation. This engine will easily run for over 250,000 miles without issue, and it comes paired to either conventional 6-speed automatic on the all-wheel drive variants or an 8-speed automatic on the two-wheel drive versions. Either way, this is a totally bulletproof drivetrain setup, as good as you can possibly get in a new vehicle made in 2025. With that said, most consumers today want the fuel efficiency of a four-cylinder engine. And if you want the best fuel efficiency possible and the most reliable, longest-lasting drivetrain possible, then without question, the number one choice is Lexus and Toyota's 5th generation 2.5-liter four-cylinder hybrid system. I know there will be those who refuse to accept this, but hear me out. This hybrid system is widely used across both the Toyota and Lexus lineups, and it is without question one of the most robust, bulletproof, longest-lasting drivetrains made today. The engine is a straightforward, naturally aspirated 2-liter or 2.5-liter four-cylinder that's designed to run reliably for well over 250,000 miles. The hybrid system with the pair of electric motors are equally robust and totally maintenance-free. And the eCVT planetary gear set transmission is easily the most reliable, trouble-free transmission on a new vehicle today, period. Failures are practically unheard of, even beyond 300,000 miles. Put it all together, and you have a drivetrain setup that is just too difficult to top in a new vehicle made in 2025. So if you want peak reliability, Toyota is still the go-to choice. Now I know some will say, what about the hybrid battery? Well, fortunately, those happen to be just as near failure proof. The hybrid battery is warranted for 10 years or 160,000 miles, 240,000 kilometers. And even beyond that point, failures are exceedingly rare, before 15 years or 250,000 miles. And if they do fail, used batteries or rebuilt batteries are not hard to find for a reasonable price, often under $2,000. Are you technically adding a potential failure item? Sure, but considering these hybrid systems basically have fail-proof transmissions, I'd say the trade-off is more than fair. And now let's get to that second list of honorable mentions. Now, even though these drivetrains are not quite as reliable as the ones that I've already listed, these are still considered very reliable options to go for. These include Nissan's 3.5-liter naturally aspirated V6 engine in the Nissan Pathfinder and the 3.8-liter V6 in the Frontier, both of which come paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission. There's also Subaru's FB 2-liter or 2.5-liter naturally aspirated Boxer 4-cylinder engines, which come with a CVT used across the Subaru lineup, and Honda's K20C 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder with a CVT found in the HR-V and base Civic. In the case of both Subaru and Honda, the CVT was traditionally a weak point, but both have improved in reliability and should last the life of the engines when properly maintained. There are also a few turbocharged engines which can be quite reliable with proper maintenance as well. These include Honda's K20C 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder with the 10-speed automatic transmission, which is found in a few Acura models. Lexus and Toyota's T24A 2.4-liter turbo with the 8-speed automatic transmission used in several Toyota and Lexus models. And even some European brands are not too bad. These include Volkswagen, Audi, and Porsches with the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, the Gen 3 or Gen 4 EA 888 found in the Golf GTI, the Jetta GLI, Porsche Macan, and some other models, which come with either a 6-speed manual or 7-speed DSG transmission, a fairly reliable setup either way when well maintained. And then we have probably the best European drivetrain of all, BMW's B48, or better yet, the B58 turbo 3-liter inline-6 engine with the bulletproof ZF 8-speed automatic or 6-speed manual gearbox, easily the most reliable drivetrain setup that BMW has produced in modern history. Again though, assuming with thorough maintenance. None of these drivetrains are as good as the ones I listed before, but all can be reliable options when properly maintained. So there you have it. Now, if you own a vehicle that has one of these drivetrain combinations, what has your ownership experience been like? Let me know in the comments. And are there any drivetrains that I may have missed that you think are just as reliable and long lasting? Remember, it has to be sold in a brand new vehicle that you can buy in 2025. Again, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you are planning to purchase a new vehicle and you live in Ontario, know that OMVIC is the vehicle sales regulator that's responsible for administering and enforcing the rules that dealerships must follow. To learn more about your consumer protection rights, visit omvic.ca. And if you need any additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcanada.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.